Right now, buried somewhere in your nervous system, there is an alarm that was set more than 200,000 years ago. Nobody ever switched it off. And every single night, the moment you close your eyes, it quietly turns itself back on. Because for almost all of human history, sleep was the most dangerous thing you did all day. Think about it. You get into bed tonight, behind a locked door, under a solid roof, in a warm room. You feel safe. But your ancestors closed their eyes in open country, in the dark, surrounded by animals that hunt at night and see far better than you do. Sleep meant lying still, blind, and helpless for hours. It meant becoming meat. So how did any human survive the night?
How did our species sleep through 8 hours of darkness for thousands of generations without being quietly eaten one by one? The answer is stranger than you think, and it is the reason you sleep the exact way you do tonight. Picture one of your ancestors 300,000 years ago on the open grassland of Africa. The sun is gone. There is no moon. The dark out here is total, a black you have probably never actually experienced, and your ancestor cannot see in it. Human eyes are built for daylight. After sunset, we are nearly blind. But the things that want to eat us are not. A leopard can see in light 30 times dimmer than you need. So can a lion. Hyenas hunt the dark in coordinated packs.
This was the world every night. You were a slow, soft, clawless animal lying on the ground, switched off for hours, in the exact conditions where your predators were strongest. On paper, your ancestors should not have survived a single week. And there is a deeper mystery here. Every great ape alive today, chimpanzees, gorillas, orangutans, climbs into a tree at night and builds a fresh nest, safe above the ground. But somewhere along the way, our ancestors climbed down. We started sleeping on the open earth, the single most exposed place a primate can be. It should have been a death sentence. Instead, it became the setup for everything that made us human. So what changed? The first thing that saved them was fire. Around 1 million years ago, our ancestors learned to keep a flame alive through the night. And fire did something no claw or muscle could. It pushed the dark back. Anthropologist Polly Wiesner studied the modern sand people of the Kalahari and found that firelight completely changes the night. It keeps big animals at the edge of the glow, and it turns the hours after sunset into time for talking, for stories, for staying close. The fire was a wall made of light. But fire alone does not explain it, because someone has to keep that fire burning. Someone has to notice the shape moving at the edge of the dark, and a person who is fast asleep notices nothing. So here is where it gets strange. Here is the part that is still inside you.
For a long time, scientists assumed early humans must have posted a guard, one person staying awake on watch while everyone else slept. But a team led by anthropologist David Sampson and biologist Charlie Nunn wanted to test how humans actually sleep in the wild. So they went to the Hadza, a hunter-gatherer group in Tanzania who still sleep much the way humans did for tens of thousands of years. And they tracked the sleep of the whole group, night after night after night. What they found rewrites how you think about your own body. Across 3 weeks of data, more than 200 hours of sleep, there was almost no moment, almost no single minute of the night when every adult was asleep at the same time.
On average, at any given point in the dark, someone was awake, not standing guard, not forcing themselves to stay up, just naturally awake, and nobody had organized it. The researchers called this the sentinel hypothesis, and the mechanism behind it is something you already know. Some people go to bed early and wake early. Some stay up late and sleep in. Older people tend to wake in the small hours. We treat these differences as personality or as flaws. The night owl, the annoying early riser, the grandparent up at 4 a.m. making tea. But spread across a group, those mismatched clocks mean that someone's eyes are open at every hour of the night. The group is never fully unconscious. Your ancestors did not need a designated guard.
Their scattered body clocks were the guard. So let me ask you something. Are you the person in your home who wakes at the tiniest sound in the night? The one who hears the creak nobody else hears? Then you may be carrying one of the oldest jobs our species ever had, because that same research revealed a second secret hiding in human sleep. Compared to every other primate, humans sleep unusually little and unusually deep. Monkeys and apes spend far more of the night asleep than we do. We compressed ours. We trade quantity for intensity, packing more of the deep dreaming stages into fewer hours. And scientists believe we could only afford that dead-to-the-world sleep because we were not sleeping alone. Fire at our side, bodies all around us. Mismatched clocks covering the dark. Safety in numbers is what finally let us sink all the way down. Which brings us to your bed. Tonight, and the strange things your sleep still does that once kept you alive. Have you ever slept badly on your first night in a hotel or at a friend's house, tossing and half awake even though the bed was perfectly comfortable? That is not in your head. Scientists Misako Tamaki and Yuka Sasaki at Brown University scanned people sleeping in an unfamiliar place, and they found something remarkable. On the first night, one half of the brain stays lighter, more alert, more awake than the other. Half your brain literally stands watch. Some birds and dolphins sleep with one half of the brain at a time.
You do a quiet version of it every time you sleep somewhere new, because to an ancient nervous system, a new place is an unmapped place, and an unmapped place might have something in it. If you want to understand what else evolution wired into you and then never switched off, subscribe to Neanderthink. And it does not stop there. Have you noticed how you can sleep straight through a loud fan or steady traffic, but a single unexpected footstep or someone quietly saying your name snaps you instantly awake? Your sleeping brain is not really off. It is filtering. Steady, familiar sound means nothing is changing, so it lets you sleep. A sudden, meaningful sound means something is different, and different for 200,000 years meant danger.
That reflex kept your ancestors alive. Now it wakes you because the ice maker dropped a cube. Even the thing you hate most about your sleep may be ancient. If you wake around 3 in the morning, wide awake for no reason, and lie there certain something is wrong with you, the historian Roger Eckert has shown that for most of human history, this was completely normal. People slept in 2 shifts, a first sleep, then an hour or 2 awake in the quiet middle of the night, then a second sleep. That waking was not a disorder. It was the design. Your body may simply be running a schedule the modern world told it to forget. So look at what your bad sleep actually is. The restlessness in a strange room, the half brain on watch, the instant waking at a footstep, the eyes that open at 3 in the morning. None of it is your body failing. All of it is your body succeeding at a job that no longer exists. It is ancient competence, firing perfectly in a world that finally turns safe without telling your nervous system. And that changes what you can do with it. The next time you jolt awake at nothing, you do not have to panic, because the panic is the real thief of sleep, not the waking. The waking is old and harmless. When you lie alert in a new place, you can stop fighting it and know it will fade by the second night, as your brain marks the place as safe.
Give that ancient sentinel the signals it is waiting for. Darkness, a cool room, the quiet sense that you are not alone and nothing is coming. Tell the guard it can finally stand down, because that alarm set 200,000 years ago is still switched on inside you tonight. Your ears are still listening in the dark. Half your brain is still ready to wake. But for the first time in the entire history of your species, the thing it is listening for is not out there anymore. Nothing is coming. You can sleep.